Hey everyone, welcome back to the Sorcerer. So today I'm going to do something I haven't done in a little while, and this is going to be the first one, and that is going to be taking a look at my various accounts, where they are, where I'm going, and where, if you're in a similar position, where I think you should go. So we're going to start this with my oldest free play account, and you'll see when we get to the end of all of my accounts how many free to play accounts I do have. And obviously I had the one buy to play, pay to play. It's more for convenience, and that's the way they try to do a lot of these games because obviously free to play can be done. It just takes excruciatingly long, and I'm not gonna lie. When I started this account, I started this account obviously before we knew about the Siege in Olympus. Obviously, before we knew about what the team was that was going to help you get through, people to basically walk through the Forbidden Depths. Obviously, before we knew about Ascension, all this stuff. And you can sort of see here with what my top tunes are. They're level 70 plus Big Hero 6, which is the first legendary. And for a long time, it was the only legendary I had on this account. It's not the case anymore. But I was like Big Hero 6 because, I liked the movie. I'm like, this is going to be hotness. This is going to be good for a long time. And PvP and everything. And they were for about, I don't know, a few months maybe. And then that rapidly changed. And so now, at least I have Baymax and Hero and Go-Go and Fred and Wasabi and Honey Lemon all at really good levels, but aside from that, I'm not getting a lot of mileage out of them. And that's one thing I'm seeing with the implementation of the new Inferno, is there are certain characters that you can get a lot of mileage out of. And I don't know that I want to talk about it here. Maybe we'll get into it a little bit, but we're going to get into where I'm going and what I'm working on now. And this is it. I don't think there shouldn't be any big surprise here when when you consider who I'm working on. It's mainly tunes that will help me get to. It's mainly my 10 essential tunes, or tunes that will help me get to those 10 essential tunes. And I'll probably put a notation here about 3 minutes in to the 10 essential tunes, which I've put in most of my videos just because I feel like that is so vitally important for being able to succeed in this game. Because I know a lot of people are into PvP, and that's fine. You can be into PvP, but the way this game's set up, you need to be able to do the PvE first to get gear so that you can do the PvP. And if you're just one of those guys who wants to do PvP arena all day or whatever, it's a means to an end. Just like most every other game out there. PvE to get to PvP. What I'm working on right now is I'm just working on, if we go over to my kingdom, you can see who I've got. Obviously I've got three or four. I've got a number of tunes already at tier 8. Genie's Genie. You got Shan Yu, who's the leader. You got Sorcerer Mickey, who who's just the newest addition to my tier 8s. I got Namari here. We got Anna for whatever reason. We got Robin Hood. We got Maurice for whatever reason. Don't be like me. Don't waste your resources on Maurice. I mean, if you like him, if you think it's gonna be beneficial, put him on the back burner because there's other more important people to work on, shall we say? And those important people would be Kronk, Yzma. I've got everybody got everybody that I need for Maleficent at full stars. I just don't have them fully geared. And so what we have here is we have myself needing Kronk. I need Yzma. I need Gaston, and I need Sheriff of Nottingham, who are all villains. And then of course we need Mulan and Mrs. Potts, who are heroes. Oh no, I'm sorry. We got 3 of each. We got Kronk, Mulan, and Mrs. Potts, and then Yzma, Gaston, and Sheriff of Nottingham. So we got 3 each to get Maleficent done. And obviously, if you saw down here, I have her open. I just don't have her 5 stars. And as you can see, I'm 6 tunes away from that, and it's going to be a long slog. But like I've talked about before, Maleficent is the hardest one. Once you get Maleficent done, you're off and you're running, because after that you can just accelerate so fast. Unfortunately for me, I already have Elsa done and unlocked at 7 stars. I can gear her, but I don't know if I could gear her all the way up. I'm not willing to take some of the resources away from these people. And obviously when I get her done, I can just put those pieces into Elsa, and knowing that they're all green, and it'll be fine. The fact that she's open, and that's good. You can see here's a Caterpillar. We need 4 more, and he'll be fully 7-starred. And then probably after we bring Elsa up, we're probably gonna bring Caterpillar up, and that'll be good. And as we start knocking these people out, I just removed Sorcerer Mickey from this list the other day because I just finished him the other day. I'm like, okay, he's done. And you're like, well, why isn't Frozone? I don't know why Frozone's here, honestly. Oh, because he still needs runes. That's why he's here. And I probably don't have. Yeah. I have runes. I just don't have a lot of them, and so I'm like, maybe not. And because I'm so focused on Maleficent that I'm more worried about having the runes for those tunes than I am for somebody like Frozone. Even though Frozone's in a really good place, but that's what it is. And then I was thinking about I started doing a video on my big account for getting through Ascension, and then I'm like, you know what? I need to rethink this because I don't think I've started Ascension on this account, which is fine. But here, and the reason I haven't is because I don't have the 2 hunchbacks, the 2 hunchback tunes. So we go over to my hunchbacks, and this is going to be another thing that I'm going to be worried about working on a little bit here in the future. And probably I should go ahead and add them in, just so I do not forget about them. We have I need to look at my hunchback tunes. And, obviously we're going to have to gear these too. We're going to have to gear these to help us out, to help us get through Ascension. Now, you see, depending on this video, when you see this video, I'm filming this on the 29th of January, and currently we are in the middle of a Hunchback Tower thing. And you see just a bunch of, I could take Quasi up, but there's no reason to, because I only have I don't even have 1.5 million. And so what I'm doing is I'm working on Esmeralda, and then Esmeralda and Frollo are going to be the 2 that I end up taking in to start the Inferno. But you can probably tell that's pretty far away. Because obviously I need to level them up and I need to gear them before I start the Ascension here. And that's because of the way the Inferno worked out. Before the Inferno, I would have told you, the characters that you really want to take into the first part of this Ascension are going to be Shan Yu, Belle, Beast, and then your 2 Hunchback tunes, whether that's Quasi, whether that's Esmeralda, or it's Claude. But now that we have the Inferno, and if you saw my Inferno before, then you know you need forest creatures for that. Well, as it turns out now, you can kill two birds with one stone. And you don't necessarily need to invest in Beast and Bell unless you want to. But, if you're working on the Maleficent team like I am, then you might have access to two, shall we say, good fellows, I guess, Robin Hood and, who will obviously need some leveling to get him a little bit more, but also the Sheriff of Nottingham. And, if you have them there, then you're not able to knock out Maleficent at once. But additionally, you're able to knock out the Ascension part of the Hunchback portion of the Ascension. And then you already have two forest creatures at a very high level, which will then catapult you into, enable you to perhaps, depending on where your other tunes are, jump right into the Inferno. So, or shortly thereafter, jump into the Inferno. And so I just thought I just thought about that because I put together a video. I'm like, Bell and Beast? I'm like, you don't need Bell and Beast because you're going to get more mileage out of Robin Hood and the Sheriff of Nottingham. Now I'm going to say that, now obviously Beast being a legendary will you'll get a lot of counter, you'll get a lot of mileage out of him. But if you take a little bit more time and you invest a little bit more resources into Sheriff of Nottingham and Robin Hood, then I think you're going to end up going further in the Ascension campaign. And it's going to help be more beneficial. Now, if you want to take Bell and Beast or whoever or whichever kingdom character in there, you can. That's fine. But that's just my recommendation. That since you already need them for the Inferno, because that's what I'm going to do on this. That's what I'm going to do on this. That's going to be what I'm going to be doing on all of my accounts going forward. Is I'm just going to use those two forest creatures because I needed them anyway to get me Maleficent, and then after that we're just going to wrap them into the Hunchback with the Hunchback and Shan Yu and go do what we got to do. And you can see how far we're going in. You need Hunchbacks all the way to the Hunchbacks. I mean this was, I'm not going to lie, when I did this before, these people were crazy, and you can just imagine what they are now. So obviously you're going to need speed stones for them to get through this, and you're probably going to need full speed stones, but I think it can be done, especially if you end up putting, you may be taking the your whole kingdom team in at maybe 77, I don't know, but you need them for all of this. You need that Hunchback kingdom team for all of this, all the way. You need to get them past 72, obviously. So you're probably looking 75, 77 for everybody. But you need them for the whole part 1 of the Ascension. So keep that in mind. And then, over here, your Toy Story. And, we talk about Toy Story. And that's going to be another thing that I'm going to be working on. Obviously, getting through the Hunchback portion is going to be my first what I'm going to be doing, but then, obviously I need to get through this Toy Story portion of the Ascension. And so even though they're not on a list, who else, what do you need? Who are the Toy Story characters that you need for the Inferno? Well, let's find out. We go to the Interstellar crew, and I'm just sort of laying out what I'm going to be doing this whole year. And as you see it, Who are the Toy Story Interstellar characters you have? We have Buzz, the original Buzz Lightyear, and we have Emperor Zurg. Cool, interesting, really, not bad. So obviously, those are probably going to be two of the ones that you're going to want to invest in the most when it comes when you get done with the kingdom portion of the Ascension, and you'll see this, whenever I get around to it. I have no idea how long it's going to take me to get them done. But then I think that'll be very beneficial from my standpoint if I went from those Maleficent characters to the Hunchback Tower characters, just so I can get to this next portion. And so hopefully I'll be able to do that relatively soon. But then after that, obviously you need the Toy Store characters, and so they basically tell you, because you're gonna need these for the Inferno, so might as well kill two birds with one stone, right? You're gonna need Emperor Zurg and Buzz, and so those are probably going to be the two that you're going to want to invest in additionally. I mean, the most. Now, aside from that, obviously, Bo Peep is probably going to be essential to you. It's probably going to be essential to you because, I think she might have the best leadership. Now, whether she has the best leadership or not is up to you. I think she's the leadership that I use, and the reason for that is 20% offense instead of 20% bonus offense, because it's 8 regardless, and that's 20 if it's Toy Story. And then obviously the more you lead this up, you're not going to go all the way to 10, but I mean, even if you go to 8, you're going to get 24% offense, which is much better than that baseline, obviously. So just keep that in mind. And the other two you're probably going to want to work on is obviously Chunk, who I've talked about for that being your best, being your tank, and you can see where my Chunk is. He's practically ready to go. And then the other is probably is likely Big Baby, but that's further down the road. So, I know this is a longer video, and you're like, why is this still going on? Well, it's because I'm telling you all of this two birds with one stone thing. And that's the way I'm thinking about this account this year. That's the way I'm thinking about most of my accounts this year, is how much longevity am I going to get out by leveling these tunes. And so we jump back into the Ascension, and we come back to when we get past the Toy Store portion, which is, how many nodes is it? It's only A, B, C, D, so it's only 5 nodes, and we come to Lilo and Stitch. Well, did you notice what what we just saw in the other paper? And I'm wondering if they're doing this on purpose or not. But we come back to the Interstellar crew, and it's going to tell you who to level for this. It's going to say, hey, you're going to want to use Stitch, and you're going to want to know what you Captain get into. Why? Because, again, you're going to get the most bang out of them. And so I think you only need the 2. So these are the 2 that you're obviously going to invest the most in, which is Captain Gantu and Stitch. Because you're going to need them down the road in the Inferno for once you get to the Interstellar. So you're only going to have... So you're already setting yourself up with a group of 4 Interstellars that you've gotten in really good shape just by getting through the first however much of the Ascension. And it's, to 2i. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9 nodes you're going to get out just by investing in those 4. And then this becomes King Triton, which I don't remember. Did we get King Triton in the Ascension? I mean, even if not, then you know how I feel about King Triton. And King Triton is also one of the 10 essential tunes. And so it says you need 2 Little Mermaid. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's gonna be. I mean, obviously, if you want to go princess, you can go with Ariel. But I mean, it's gonna tell you need Oceanics. Well, we've already done. We know that we've done at least. We know that we'll be doing at least 2 Oceanics because they're both interstellar, right? And this is you need King Triton and another member of the Little Mermaid, right? And so, one Little Mermaid tune, King Triton, Interstellar, Oceanic, Interstellar, Oceanic, and then whoever else. Now, we don't have any use for cover bubbles, but you can use Davy because Davy's an adventurer, or you could go Milo because he's an adventurer. It's up to you. Because, we might have to go over to the Inferno, and I don't know if it's even going to let me into the Inferno. It might. No, it's still locked. But, I can't remember because I'm not on the account, obviously, but obviously there's a portion that I think of the Inferno that you needed for with King Triton plus whatever. And so I'm just telling you what I'm going to be doing and the way I'm thinking about it. Obviously, if you don't want to do this, here it switches from, it's mythical, so you need mythical, so that's my bad. I thought I saw that you needed Oceanics. Well, if it switches to mythicals, well then you got you can obviously go with Hercules or whoever. Oh, here in 2J. In 2J it's Oceanics. So what's going on here? So we're getting Lilo and Stitch plus mythicals, which I knew I should have known the whole time. And then here you get the Little Mermaid plus Oceanics. And so just think about who you're gonna need, and then over here, wild. But this is further down the line, and I will be very surprised if I get this far this year. But my goal is to be able to hopefully it's to level up as many of my Oceanics. I mean, as much getting through those 10 essential tunes, and then obviously using the interstellar characters and the summoner students and the forest creatures as much as I can to be able to get me through the Ascension. So that's going to set me up for the Inferno on the other side. So, it's a little bit longer. I hope you understand my thinking. If you have any questions about it, please leave me a comment and let me know. I will try my best to put chapters in here and go over it so that I make it more clear. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. 10 essential tunes, and then from there we're just going to be making our way through the Ascension and getting ready for the Inferno, obviously. But anyway, I'll be back when I have another one to talk about with whichever account I decide next. And until then, have a good day. God bless, and I will see you later. Have a good one. Bye.